Please subscribe.
In the event that you were expecting a challenging new Audi A6, well, you haven't generally been focusing. Audi's styling approach starting late has been as traditionalist as Austria, and similarly likewise with ongoing updates of everything from the TT to the A8, this new model is more like its ancestor than various. Indeed, this medium-length connection of vehicle hot dog has some new wrinkles and lumps on its bumpers, yet its advancement is as unsurprising as a Swiss timepiece. A touch here and a fold there and you have a vehicle that, notwithstanding its new MLB Evo stage imparted to the A7 and the A8, is inside a large portion of an inch of the old model in each measurement. Not since the first tirade over 10 years back has Ingolstadt made any really striking moves, and in any case, the spot to do so is certifiably not a model whose prime statistic is German brokers. 6 is first American brokers or only Americans with bank will be clients, which is the reason Audi is propelling the highest point of the line V6 fueled A6 first. This is the equivalent 3.0-liter power plant from the new A7 and A8, making 335 pull and 369 pounds-to-feet of torque because of a solitary turbocharger settled in the chamber valley in a hot V arrangement. A belt-alternator-starter framework with a 48-volt battery underneath the storage compartment floor empowers the motor's stop-turn-over framework, just as allowing a mileage-improving drifting capacity that is overlooked from U.S.advertise autos. As in the A7, the sole transmission will be Audi's 7-speed double grip programmed, which sends capacity to every one of the four wheels utilizing the most recent form of Audi's Quattro Ultra all-wheel drive framework that electronically withdraws the driveshaft under light stacks for improved proficiency. Productivity, be that as it may, is progressively urgent for lesser A6 models, similar to the inescapable adaptation with Volkswagen's corporate turbocharged 2.0-liter inline-four in the engine. This one, the V6, is for individuals who like to flex their correct lower legs. The motor is the most energizing thing about the new vehicle, as it ought to be giving immediate push on account of a torque band that is to a greater extent a level line once you break the throttle. It's anxious to rev all through its power band, and the double-grip gearbox snaps off movements like a drummer playing rimshots. The turbo motor may do not have a portion of the character of the supercharged V6 it replaces, especially in the A6, where the fume sound is totally covered, however it disgraces the old motor in power and adaptability. We can't state the equivalent for the new vehicle's skeleton. While we'll hold judgment until we can really drive a U.S.spec A6 on American streets, our concise involvement with an European vehicle in Portugal uncovered a to some degree hardened ride in a similar kind of light and overboosted directing feel endemic to Audis. All A6 models utilize a multi-link suspension front and back, and vehicles sold in the US will have steel springs and electronically versatile dampers, with a discretionary game suspension that brings down the vehicle by 0.8 inch. Audi's well-known Drive Select framework differs stun valving, guiding reaction, and transmission move focuses through 5 settings: efficiency, comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. None of them improved directing criticism, which was negligible, despite the fact that our test vehicle was wearing superior summer elastic on 20-inch wheels instead of the 18 or 19-inch all-season tires we hope to see as standard on US models. Europeans will have the option to arrange an A6 with air springs and four-wheel guiding, yet Americans craving that equipment should step up to the inevitable A6. Superfly MMI. The genuine fascination for most A6 purchasers likely will be an alternate kind of equipment, in particular the new infotainment framework that has changed the inside. While Audi's virtual cockpit advanced measure bunch is never again so frontline, you can get something very similar in a $25,000 Volkswagen Jetta. It is showing up in the A6, nearby the new touchscreen MMI framework presented in the new A8. The touchscreen replaces about each hard catch and handle, and the old MMI arrangement had many of them with 2 haptic criticism touchscreens. We discovered touchscreen execution was great yet not impeccable. In spite of the fact that with a little practice we expect we would be advised to get the hang of setting off our finger presses. The 8.6-inch lower screen shows the back controls or changes to a Goliath rendition of the touchy composition cushion Audi presented years prior. The 10.1-inch upper screen houses the greater part of different capacities, for example, route and sound, and it is reconfigurable in a large number of ways, including the especially valuable customization of the 5-tile sidebar on the left half of the screen. Up to 7 drivers can spare separate profiles of inclinations and settings. The framework is perfect with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, in spite of the fact that we needed to reboot our Android telephone to pressure it to associate, and the reflected presentation on the Audi's screen showed up pixelated, obviously subpar compared to the illustrations of the vehicle's work-in framework. MMI likewise enables proprietors to program easy routes to radio stations, route goals, or telephone contacts that on the other hand show up on the lower screen. Generally speaking, the framework is natural and noteworthy, yet its menus can run profound. Furthermore, Audi precludes changing most settings while the vehicle is moving, including those of the sound framework, which is the main glaring defect we could discover in our short test. Fortunately, the volume handle has endured. In this way, as well as the A6's generally abnormal state of inside completion, with wooden beds and smooth calfskin satisfying the new vehicle's extravagance guarantee. The dashboard configuration may take some becoming accustomed to, as the huge scopes of piano dark plastic and metal look trim that edge the touchscreens leave from Audi's ordinary moderation. Keep in mind, this is an organization that utilizes nav screens that withdraw into the dashboards of certain models, as Audi still can't seem to prepare its U.S. showcase request direct in front of the A6's appearance this fall. We're left to theorize about which highlights from Europe advertise vehicles we'll see here, from driver help frameworks to remote self-leaving to the constantly on the web route framework that utilizes cloud information to illuminate the vehicle. That goes for estimating, as well. Despite the last determination, the A6's new bones, both those and the engine and under the dash, are great, regardless of whether you may need to leave the old vehicle close by it to perceive its new skin.